Welcome, horror fans, to HHN 365, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. My name is Mike, and I'm here with my co-host, Duff.
Hey, guys.
Hey. So this episode, we're going to have a little bit of a mini-sode for you. And to be honest with you, it was supposed to release a couple days ago. Sorry about that. Duff has been out of town, but he actually just got back, and we decided to hold off in releasing the episode. We were going to release it yesterday. We decided to hold off releasing it because there's actually been a lot of big rumors and news.
Yeah, we wanted to squeeze
some
stuff in.
So we wanted to definitely get this out quickly, so we decided to hold off and re-record the intro. So we just have some trivia coming up next. But before we get to the trivia, how about let's talk about this breaking news?
Let's do it. I don't know if we're going to... Yeah, breaking heavy rumors.
Very, very big, crazy rumor.
Yes, yeah. So if you were listening to this, you're probably a huge Horror Nights fan, and you already know where this is going. But there are rumors from multiple sources, which we'll get into, that Billie Eilish will be featured at Halloween Horror Nights, Hollywood and Orlando.
And everyone is polarized by this.
Oh, yeah, it is an absolutely polarizing subject. I think I would have expected more hate than it's getting, but there's a lot of people who are really on board with it, and that kind of surprises me, I'll be honest. Because everything I see from Horror Nights fans typically is the only music that goes with horror is metal. Right. And, that's it. Strictly done. So this is kind of something that I expected people would just be, burning down streets.
So before we get to our opinions of this, let's kind of start about how this rumor started and where you first heard it. So let's start kind of the timeline.
Yeah. So I don't have the exact timeline, but I believe Legacy, the poster on Inside Universal, who has a pretty decent track record of getting things right, just came out and said the answer to one of the clues I had was Billie Eilish is coming to Universal Halloween Horror Nights. He later went on to say specifically that this is going to be a house in Hollywood, and it's going to be a Lagoon show here.
Right.
Because basically the Orlando team shot it down and said, we do not want this house, and they settled on Lagoon show, is his reasoning behind that.
Right. And then around the same time, probably maybe in between the two posts, HHN Unofficial had wrote an article basically titled "Rumor: Why People Are Saying Billie Eilish is Coming to HHN," and they kind of discuss some of the rumors. They don't say Legacy officially, but they say that there's strong rumors mulling about, and they kind of break down why it sounds far-fetched, but how it probably could be possible. And they some of the things they say is, one, she already works with UMG. And that it's not far-fetched to see because she already basically is inside the company basically to use her music there. Mm-hmm. Two, her music is extremely popular and would in some way fit in HHN, but not necessarily the music, but a lot of the themes of her music videos.
Yep,
kind of a fit.
She definitely has disturbing imagery across her music videos, and Horror Nights is really based off visual aspects.
Right.
So, I mean, kind of makes sense there, right?
Right.
But what really makes sense is, how well did she just do the other night? How many awards did she rack up?
5. She won 5 Grammys.
Yeah. That's a pretty popular figure to get involved.
Yes.
When you're trying to get some newer,
right,
maybe younger audiences to show up.
Right. And apparently, she is also a huge HHN superfan.
Yep. Yeah, so apparently I know I've heard or saw something last year, at least, where she was there. Uh-huh. But apparently she's been going for years, and she's obsessed with it.
Yeah, there's pictures of her on various RIP tours, basically since she's been.
Maybe she listens to the podcast. Is she that big of a fan?
Maybe.
What's up, Billie?
Let
us know.
Don't slide into our DMs. You are not 18 yet, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah, wait, no.
Don't send us a DM.
Yeah, please don't.
Please don't. We do not want to end up on any sort of list.
Have your manager DM us.
Right. Yeah, we love the DMs and we love the interactions. We do have I would say a younger fan base.
Yeah.
But try not to DM us if you're not of legal age.
Yeah, bad things can come from that. Yeah. Even with no bad intentions, we understand.
I tried to explain to my wife that she's very supportive of this, but I think she draws the lines with me direct messaging.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
tweet us on the profile. That's fine.
On the profile, but yeah, just don't slide into the DMs,
including you, Billie.
Including yes, Billie. So stuff so that's basically the
so
HHN
before
official.
We talk about what we think this means for the event and what we think of it in general, what does the general public or the general HHN fan think about this? I'd say it's, like I was saying earlier, it's not as bad as I thought overall. However, if you go to like Twitter, it's basically like
the world is ending. Right?
The world, yeah, it's either the world's ending, this is absolutely ridiculous, or you guys are so stupid if you believe this has any chance of happening. Kind of like one of those two.
Right. Yeah. And I have to admit, I have, at first, I kind of had the same reaction.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way this doesn't fit.
Mm-hmm.
If this is like, she just won 5 Grammys. They're never going to have someone that hot be featured in HHN. Like, it's just...
He meant hot by, like, popular, by the way.
Yeah, I mean that. I mean time. I don't know.
Going back to the underage thing, that was not...
I mean by stars
burning bright.
So brightly right now. That's what I mean. Yes, I...
Thought I should clarify after the whole DM talk.
Thank you, Duff.
You're welcome.
I've already ended up on the list. I did it.
Damn. Now you can't go to HHN again.
No, I can't. You also can't go 30 feet near the school. Thanks, Duff.
I'm not cutting this. Anyways, but yeah, no, I definitely had a similar reaction at first. I don't know, really? Do I believe this? I mean, Legacy seems to feel really confident about this one. That's not just something being thrown out to confuse people.
Right.
That it's actually going to happen. I don't know that I know it's going to happen. I'm not like, oh yeah, this is definitely coming because he said so. But I understand if it is, for sure.
Right.
What Universal's coming from. I think people who are saying this has no chance of happening have to think about what Horror Nights is. They've used pop icons in the past, especially on Hollywood. John Murdy has a history of working with musical artists and involving them, where that's creating houses, using their imagery, using their music. So it is more of a Hollywood thing typically, but it does come over here sometimes. When it's a big star like this, marketing is going to come to the Orlando team and go, yeah, you're going to use this, by the way. And whether they want to or not, it's going to happen.
So let's take the house and the Lagoon show separately. Let's say this is real.
Okay.
What do each of them look like? Let's start with the house in Hollywood. Do you know enough about Billie Eilish and her imagery of what we might expect in a Billie Eilish?
No, I'll be honest. I am not a fan. I don't dislike her music by any means. It's just not what I listen to. So I didn't know too much. I've seen some music videos, or at least pieces of them, and kind of knew what they're about. Like the whole sleep paralysis and demons thing.
Yeah,
is kind of what the focus is there. So I would assume that would be a big part of the imagery in the house for sure. But I don't think I personally know enough where I could really say what it would look like.
Right.
But I assume if she's getting a house, it could be similar to. I don't even know, because would it look kind of like Hillbilly Deluxe, where you're literally just taking inspirations from an album and kind of throwing it into an area? But a whole house would be rough. That'd be tough.
I mean,
or is it kind of going to be like a
maybe
Rob Zombie, like she directs it,
maybe,
she's
maybe
involved in the creative aspect and it's kind of based off her imagery.
Yeah,
I don't
going to be kind of like the Alice Cooper, where we get a little bit. I don't think she has enough backstory and enough things to pull from to really make a house. And half of her stuff really doesn't have the horror theme.
No.
At least, so I've done a little bit of research very quickly. I listened to about half of the album earlier today to try to see what on earth we were getting here. This is the first time I've actually sat down and listened to Billie Eilish. I know my wife, I think, likes her casually. When I told her about this, she was like, "Hey, I might brave scare zones to see a Billie Eilish Lagoon show," and then she quickly realized how crazy that was. Yeah, she talked herself down from that just to go to see a Billie Eilish Lagoon show. But yeah, I don't know how this is going to work. It doesn't necessarily. Most of her music does not. Apparently, her videos do, and I watched a few of these with the sound off at work today. Some of the stuff is kind of creepy, but not anything.
It's not horror.
It's not horror.
It can be taken as disturbing, I think, but horror.
It's going to be very light. I think maybe we're going to have to see things that we haven't seen already. She's going to have to come up. Maybe she directs it. Maybe she comes up with even more scarier, disturbing things that we've never seen before.
Does John Murdy and Co. just kind of take the base of her imagery and kind of mold it to a Horror Nights style from there?
No, that's
where it's not just kind of like, this is what you have, this is what we're going to use, but kind of like, this is what you're going for, and we're going to build off of that and make additions that you're not going to find in her music videos at all, or within her lyrics, or anything like that.
So I think what you'll experience is you'll walk into a room, and there will be a girl with two-tone hair, just kind of in baggy clothes, just kind of staring at you.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's half of her music videos.
That
right?
is.
Just kind of, just like very, with not much expressing, just singing kind of very quietly.
That's kind of creepy. So, you know what?
That
could work.
It might be.
That's it.
I mean, that's what most of her music videos
it's
are.
It's a
right?
one-room house.
One-room house, and it's just somewhat a Billie Eilish character lookalike, just quietly singing at you.
That's probably better than the... I'm not going to say that. It could be a decent house. Who knows? Before we talk about how we feel about all this, we have to go on to the rumored Lagoon show.
I think this works better.
First,
I have to admit.
We'll talk about those opinions after what we think it could be.
Okay.
So what do you think the Lagoon show could look like?
I think we could definitely see a Lagoon. Now, her music, I think, fits better for a Lagoon show. There's a lot of dubstep. There's a lot of electronic music.
There's some.
It's mass appeal. I think there's a lot of like bass drop type of here's a big moment type of things you can get from her music that would fit well for a thematic let's show HHN30 type of Lagoon show. Like a bunch of icons and things, just the back of the music of Billie Eilish.
See, I think it would be cool if it was done incorporating her music into an icon show or something of the sort. Is it possible, though, that it's not an icon show and it's actually just a Billie Eilish Lagoon show?
I think would flop. I don't think.
Do you think it's possible they do it?
Yes, I do think it's possible they do it. Will it be popular? Not with the
general
HHN guess. No, I think it will be a bad idea to do a full Billie Eilish type of just Lagoon show.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can incorporate Billie Eilish into an HHN30 type of Lagoon show, but I think people are clamoring, especially if we get a Lagoon show back after Marathon of Mayhem, and it's not an HHN30 icon years of the past type show, and it's just Billie Eilish's show. I think people will be extremely disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it could, like you said, it could be just a Billie Eilish show. I'm really hoping it's not. Like I said, I think if they did like a full like a kind of icon show or any Horror Nights type show and just kind of used her influence in her music, that's fine. I think that's a good way to incorporate it. But I think let's just kind of say how we feel about it in general. One, I think I would have preferred a Scare Zone over the Lagoon show.
Yes.
Personally, I think a Scare Zone based off music can be pulled off well when you just simply take the imagery from the music videos. You don't need too much influence. You can play the music. It doesn't have to be scary. I mean, Rob Zombie's music is not scary.
The problem is, and is I think the same problem with the house, is there's not a lot to pull from.
But
she's only been
the thing is, for a scare zone,
2017,
how many different scare actors or characters, we'll say, do you need for a scare zone? Though, if you did a smaller scale one,
9 or 10 at least, I would
they
say.
could pull that.
You think you can pull 9 or 10 different characters from Billie Eilish's music videos?
Yeah,
from what I've experienced.
Well, no, I mean, it wouldn't
mostly just her.
It wouldn't be like exact characters, but like kind of take the imagery she has and play with it from there, like we were talking about before.
So just like a bunch of like ink bleeding Billie Eilishes running around.
Well, I think they'd kind of go with the whole demon thing. That's like her big aspect.
Around.
So I think like demons would be a big play there. I don't see how there's enough for a house, but I think it could support a scare zone. And the reason I think that would be better than a lagoon show, this might sound kind of bad, but you can kind of throw away a scare zone. You know, you have other scare zones.
Right.
You can make one
scare zone.
You can make one appealing for this. There's a specific group who's really gonna want it. That's where they'll be.
Right.
You have one lagoon show. It was such a big hit last year. If you come out and flop it because you felt the need to shove a pop icon into it, then that doesn't look good, and people aren't going to be happy in an anniversary year.
Right.
To top it off. So, I'm not too happy it's going to be a lagoon show. Again, for damage control, I hope it's kind of just using her ideas and music on top of an actual show. But yeah, I would have preferred a scare zone in Orlando. As far as Hollywood goes, I really just don't understand how they're going to build a house out of this. If it's true, I don't get it at all.
We'll see. I think it's so. I personally, I don't hate the idea of having Billie Eilish part of HHN. I do really hate the idea of the Lagoon show. I'll have to admit, like, especially coming out after Marathons of Mayhem, to now we're just gonna get from the mind of Billie Eilish for a Lagoon show or something, or something about. It's probably gonna be something about sleep, or something that maybe it's her album. What's her album called?
I forgot the name.
When we fall asleep, where do we go? Something to that effect. Type of Lagoon show. I think I would be pretty disappointed.
Oh yeah.
I'm not against. I will have to say I'm not against using any sort of really brightly burning stars that they have access to because apparently she signed the UMG for marketing and for being part of HHN. I'm not one of those people. I don't think HHN has to look a certain way. I think HHN is evolving. Duff and I were talking earlier. Duff is very, very scared about the influx of tweens it's going to bring in. I personally don't think it's going to affect it too much. Halloween Hornets is already riddled with tweens. I think Stranger Things had just a big appeal to the Billie Eilish fans.
We disagree there a little bit.
The Billie Eilish fans, the ones who are going to go to HHN, were probably already Stranger Things, and they already convinced their parents to buy them an HHN Frequent Fear Pass. And I think we already saw them run amok last year. I don't think we're going to see...
I don't agree the crossovers there, personally. But that's kind of going beyond the whole thing. I think, basically, he thinks the influx of teens would be minimal at best. I think
it's going to be already bad.
I think it would be worse with her. But that's beyond the point why we believe those things.
I think it's fun to hear us debate back and forth. But
all right,
let us know. If you don't like us hearing debating silly things like that. A little Billie Eilish trivia. Apparently she has Tourette's syndrome.
Oh.
And then she also has this weird disease where apparently she can, she sees letters and numbers colorized.
What?
It's called synesthesia. I can't pronounce this. Duffel, can you pronounce this? her and her brother both have this disease.
Oh no, I read that wrong. Synesthesia.
Synesthesia, and it's where you it's a cognitive pathway disorder where you have an involuntary experience of the sensory nature. So yeah, so you can it's pretty crazy, and apparently it has a lot to do with kind of her music.
And isn't her brother's like her producer apparently?
Her brother is her writer and producer.
Yeah.
Her main so
I would assume he's probably involved in some way in this too.
He has to be.
Right?
I'm sure he has to be involved.
If you had to do this on a 1 to 10 scale of how excited you are, 1 being snooze fest, 10 being you're going to cream yourself, where are you?
Me?
About this rumor.
I would give it a problem. I mean, I don't care. I would say I will be very upset if it means we don't get an epic Lagoon show like we got last year. If she shows up and even a house or scares them, I don't personally see how a house is going to be good, but I don't mind having one crappy house that I can go through once and just never really go to. A house because it's going to have a 3-hour wait. So I'll do it once, and then that's it. I would prefer this to be the house. If we're getting a Lagoon show, yes, I would prefer to have the house. Yes, because the Lagoon show. The Lagoon show is one of those things I want to see every time.
But here's the thing: again, the Lagoon show has the possibility where it's like her influence over an actual icon show, which I could live with. Which would be fine. That's fine.
But if it's
it could be good. It could be hell. It could be great. But
I will be very upset.
So I think for me, it's tough to judge Orlando with that being so up in the air. If it's true that Hollywood is simply getting a house, my excitement factor for that is like a 2. Because it's not that I'm fully against it happening. I just cannot, and I've been trying all day, figure out how they can make that happen. How that could be a good house.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that I think it'll be a good house.
You're just willing to sacrifice a house.
I'm willing to sacrifice house, especially if the rumor is that there are 11 houses. I'm willing to have an additional house, especially that would be so popular that would pull away from some of the other houses. I think that would be the best thing to happen if Billie Eilish is coming. Let it be a house. There's 10 of them at least, maybe 11. Let it pull all the tweens into that line. Let them have their thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think me and you are both fine that she could come.
Right.
That's not the problem. We just don't understand how they could make it work, really on any scale, except that one thing we've said and agreed on that could work is her influence / music in a Lagoon show that has an actual structured story behind it.
Yes, that's how I could personally see it happening. House, I don't think there's enough material.
Yeah, I don't think outside of that.
I don't see there's enough material.
Exact one way. I don't see any way that I could create anything out of that. Obviously, that's not what I'm paid to do. But in my head, I literally can't make anything that would be decent.
I think the only way it works is if we see things that have not been out there, just like Billie Eilish-esque feel of things that have not quite been released yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we get totally new imagery. So it's not necessarily an eyepiece; it's a completely original from the mind of Billie Eilish stuff, where they sit down with her and her brother and they come up with some totally, crazy house and let her probably do what she's been thinking about, dreaming about for forever. She's a super fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Billie Eilish, you're building your own house, which is the biggest dream of a HHN super fan. So if that's what, more power to her if that's what happens, right?
Yeah,
that would be pretty awesome for that to happen to her. So
I have no problem with this until I see the final product. I just currently have no excitement for it, is what it is. Could it come out being great and blow my mind? Sure. Just not what I expect at the moment. And I think that we both agree that it makes sense business-wise. We aren't questioning that at all. We understand why Universal would do this. I also understand why, if the rumors are true, the Orlando team would try to say we don't want this.
Yeah.
Because this, like I said earlier, this is more of a John Murdy thing to work with an artist like this.
Right.
Yeah. So I'd say overall we're not the most excited. But we're also not claiming the world is ending because Billie Eilish is potentially coming to Halloween Horror Nights. So, yeah, somewhere in the middle. But I think everyone just needs to kind of chill out about it. It's all right. Once again, it's still a rumor.
Yeah.
Not definitely happening. Even if it is happening now, it doesn't mean it's going to end up happening. Stuff at Horror Nights is definitely happening in February all the time. January, February. But come like April, May, once things are actually like really starting to be fully set, it's gone. You know, things fall through.
I have to say it's the most interesting rumor we've had so far for HHN30.
This is one of the most interesting rumors I've ever heard.
I mean, we've talked about for 30 minutes at this point.
Yeah.
Talking about this one rumor.
I think we know nothing about the actual artist.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we
both had to do some research.
We did 30 minutes.
Yeah, I listened. I've heard some of the music before. I know "Bad Guy's" the big hit.
Yeah,
or was. I don't know if that's still the big one.
I don't know how "Bad Guy" would fit into HHN. It doesn't really fit.
I think it could fit.
It's too.
Again, I think it could kind of be in a scare zone.
Maybe,
but
I don't know. It's too happy and too.
Scare zones do that, though. You know, scare zones do that.
Okay.
And again, metal is not some horror music. Just because it's metal and it's loud doesn't mean it's.
I know,
horror.
But
people just have this
association. It's not even foreboding. It's not moody. It's just kind of fun.
Oh, I think it's moody. I definitely would disagree there. I think it's moody. Is it a little up? It's kind of like. Yeah, I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say. It's upbeat, but it's definitely got a dark side to it. You know.
Right.
It's got her vibe.
Right.
Which is a little bit darker and. Anyways, we've talked about this enough.
This is what we do on this podcast. We take a little rumor and we gnaw on the bone until there is nothing left. We eat the bone until the marrow is gone. But that's what Yeah. That's a little tidbit of what you're going to see. Basically,
once we start getting some more,
getting more rumors and announcements. Once we just get a little bit of announcement, this is what you're going to see. You're going to be seeing two dudes discussing for an hour about just one announcement of original house we don't know anything about.
And then just a real quick one to slide on another rumor. Won't really discuss it, but the 11th house is being pushed even harder by sources now apparently. So
maybe it's Billie Eilish house.
We'll see if that comes.
I'd rather have it than a lagoon.
But the same sources are also saying it's not that Billie Eilish has a lagoon show and not a house. So
I do not want to see this Billie Eilish lagoon show.
But yeah, that's another rumor that's actually gaining as we go. But that's not as big as this rumor. It doesn't sound. They're trying to make this one sound like it is happening. So we'll see. But yeah, so we do have another fun segment coming for you. That we were going to post a couple days ago, like we were saying.
It's been recorded already.
But yeah, it's our second segment of trivia, and we'll have that coming up to you in just a moment here.
Welcome back, horror fans. Without further ado, we have our second round of HHN Trivia.
Yeah, after kind of missing a couple weeks there, we're back.
Yeah.
We said it would be bi-weekly. Tri-weekly works, too.
Yeah, it works.
That's good.
We'll get to it eventually. We have some time to kill.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't listen to the first episode, we're having a quick little trivia competition here. We're going to have 4 rounds, the winner of each going to our final, which will be Jeopardy style. Eric won the first round. So let's kind of get into it and see who joins him in the finals. So today we have 2 guests who have never appeared on the show before. The first one we have Nicole. Nicole, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
And then we have Bruce as well. Bruce, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We really appreciate it. And we hope you enjoy the trivia as much as we do. So we do have a pre-selected at random subject that we have chosen that we're going to give you guys now. Give you a few seconds to prepare. And that's going to be about Halloween Horror Nights icons.
Oh, yes.
So pretty much any to do with any icons, maybe original, maybe IP, you never know. We can go across the board there. And then we are going to decide who goes first by simply flipping a coin online. Kind of the old-fashioned way. And Nicole, I introduced you first, so I'm going to let you call it. So whenever you're ready, just give it a call.
Let's do heads.
And it's tails, so Bruce is going to go first.
All right, Bruce.
Okay.
All right, I'll start. Bruce, what event icon is also named Elsa Strict?
The storyteller.
That is correct.
That's correct. And then you did that really quick, so we didn't get to say it. But our guests know, however, the audience doesn't know yet. This week there is a 15-second time limit to answer.
But he did not need it.
No, not even close.
Thank God.
All right. And as a quick refresher, might as well. 2 points if you get it right when it's your question. 1 point for the steal. So that's going to put Bruce up to 0. All right, so we're going to get to the second question. And kind of on the same path here. What event and year featured the storyteller as the main icon? Nicole?
Was that 14?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is incorrect. Bruce,
Incorrect.
you have a chance to steal.
I believe it was Horror Nights 15.
That is correct.
Correct.
I was close.
1 year. 1 year, almost there.
Almost there. Very close.
All right. So, Bruce, you're going to be up 3-0 now. And then we're going to come back to you with the chance to grow your lead.
All right. Cindy, an icon that never had her own event, first replaced what was replaced by what icon the first time?
I believe that was the caretaker.
That
is correct.
Another 2 points for Bruce. Bruce, that puts you at 5.
Yeah, Bruce is right. She was actually toyed to be the icon twice. The first time she was replaced by the caretaker.
That's correct. All right, Nicole, we're going to come back to you. You got plenty of time to come back here. Go down. All right. There was an icon who was sacrificed on the final night of their event with the promise that they would return in 15 years. What was this icon?
The Terror Queen.
That is correct. That puts you on the board, Nicole. It is now 5-2. And then we're going to go back to you, Bruce.
All right, Bruce. Let's find a little bit harder one for you.
Oh, man. Jacking up the intensity on
Yeah. We can't let him run away with this. Let's see. All right. In the director's official backstory, why was he kicked out of his home country?
Oh, jeez. I thought it was for making snuff films. I'm not.
That's half. Yeah, that's half right. What do you think? Do we count it? Should we give him 1 point for that, not 2?
Yeah.
I had here for making the shocking feature film The Widow's Eye, which was so shocking that he was kicked out of his home country. But he also was known for making snuff films.
Yeah, I think that's technically... We'll give it a 1-pointer.
1-pointer.
1-pointer. All right, that puts you up to 6, Bruce. So, Nicole, we're going to come back to you. So, in anniversary years, we're typically going to see icon mashups, former icons come back together. For a while, that wasn't the case. What was the first year we saw multiple former icons come back for one event?
Was that Sweet 16 when there were 4 of them?
Sweet 16 is correct.
Good job.
After introducing Jack a couple times and then new icons the following years, they finally started bringing them together at Sweet 16. That's going to put you up to 4 points. So now it's 6-4, getting close too.
All right, Bruce. What was Bloody Mary's profession?
Oh, she was a psychologist?
I'll count it. Yep, she was a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was the medication one or the help.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, we'll count it. That was very good.
Perfect. That's going to put the score at 8-4. Bruce with the lead there. And we're going to go back to Nicole. Horror Nights 17 in 2007 was hosted by Jack. What was the name or the subtitle of this event?
Um. Oh gosh. Was that Carnival of Carnage?
That is correct. Carnival of Carnage. That's going to put you at 6 points. It's now 8-6, Bruce. But we're going back to Bruce with the chance to win.
Okay, Bruce. Name two intellectual property main icons or sub-icons and the year they are featured in.
Oh, Jesus. Harn, I was 95 with the Crypt Keeper.
5 seconds left.
And the very first one with the Universal Monsters. Fright Nights.
Okay, so yeah, you're right, Bruce. I wasn't actually counting the Universal Monsters, but you are right.
That
They
is
were
true.
basically basically the icons of that year. So.
All right, Bruce. So you're going to finish there with 10?
Oh, wow.
And that's the win for you. Moving on to the final.
That was not easy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys kind of
Sorry,
made
Nicole.
it seem easy.
That's okay. It got me on the first question. I would have caught up to you.
Yeah, that was,
You did great. You did really well. They were very hard questions
I
this
was
time.
mouthing the answer. I'm like, she can get this. She's good.
Yeah, you guys really never brought the timer into it either for the most part, so that was impressive. We tried to intensify the questions a little bit, and you guys kind of made it look easy. So whoever's on next week, you're going to get harder questions because
You are.
this is too easy.
Yeah, we made about 25 questions this time, and we didn't need.
Yeah, no, you guys went right through it.
I mean, if you want to give bonus points, I will take them.
You know what? Let's ask some fun bonus point questions.
Should we? Well,
Yeah.
let's save them.
Really?
If we have anyone drop out, we'll have Nicole back.
I think let's because it's her turn. Just give her a question.
Okay.
Just for
Let's
fun.
do
You
it.
still win, though. It's okay. I'm not going to take your win from you.
Let's just continue the
ask a
trivia
few,
fun.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm just going to give one question to each of you, just to keep the fun going. So, Nicole, it would be your turn, so we'll start with you. We talked about Terra Queen earlier. What land did she rule over?
Is it the Terra Cruentus? Cruentus?
We'll definitely count that. I
Okay.
think it's Terra Cruentus.
Cruentus?
It's kind of close to the pronunciation, but yeah, you were definitely close
Yeah,
enough.
pronunciation doesn't count. I slaughter everything.
All right, and then pick a really hard one to see if Bruce gets it. for fun.
I went through the hard ones
Did you?
already.
I think there was a couple more in here. No?
Oh
Oh, yeah. Maybe. We'll see. All right, I got one for you. So we know that there have been multiple scrapped icons throughout the years. Halloween Horror Nights 18 had a scrapped icon that very little is known of, that we've really only heard of in kind of forum settings. Do you know the name of that character?
Oh, geez, he's the Scarecrow. What was his name? Nathaniel something.
Oh, I know that. Sorry.
Oh, what is his name? It's Nathaniel Crow?
yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Perfect. All right, so I guess we're going to wrap up the trivia there. Once again, Bruce, congratulations.
Thank you very
Nicole,
much.
Great job.
Thank
I think
you. Good job, Bruce.
probably beat
Thanks,
most
Nicole.
people. We appreciate you taking your time. Bruce, we will see you back for the finals. Nicole, we might see you on the show again if you'd want. Who knows?
Absolutely.
And then we're going to leave their social media in the description for you guys. If you want to go check them out, give them a follow. Once again, guys, thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Welcome back, horror fans. Well, I hope you enjoyed the trivia segment. Congrats, Bruce. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for the finale.
Definitely.
We wanted to thank Nicole. She did a great job. She's been very flexible with us. Thanks for being on the show. We'll definitely have you back, Nicole.
Oh, yeah. And like we said, if you're one of our future contestants, be prepared for tougher questions.
Yes. We're going to make it harder and harder. I thought we were
Yeah,
going pretty
I
hard.
thought that, yeah. And there was a few of them that I thought might have been, a little easier. But some of those ones that we thought were harder.
Yeah. Bruce was a stud.
Yeah.
I think he definitely knew his stuff.
I'm going to put some money down on them
Yes. I
to
think
win it
so.
all.
I think Bruce has probably the front runner, just the way he did that.
Watch out, Eric.
Yeah.
Watch out. He's going to knock you off.
Yeah.
You brought him into this.
Yeah.
Little known fact.
Yeah. So I guess Bruce and Erica are old friends.
Yeah. I'll let them talk about that on the final since they'll both be there. Because I don't know too much about it. But I do know that Eric introduced him. That's why he was competing. And Eric might have made a mistake doing that,
Yes.
apparently.
Bruce definitely does his stuff.
But yeah, no, that was enjoyable. We're still going to have 2 more of those 1-versus-1 matchups leading up to our Final Four, which will be the Jeopardy style.
We have to
That's
get a
gonna be great.
lot harder in our writing our questions.
Oh, I mean, the Jeopardy one, we got to... Oh, it's got to be like
Well, that one will be
slaughter.
a lot more like fast. You had fast. You have to get it in fast, and I think that one, this one we gave them a lot of time to think about it. With Jeopardy, you just have to buzz in and answer immediately.
Mhm.
So that'll make it hard.
Yeah, true.
All right. Well, once again, Duff is headed out of town, so this is all we have for you this week. But thank you so much for listening, and we will be back next week with a full episode.
Yeah, we'll definitely be back with a full episode. I'm kind of itching to do one now, but we can't.
Yeah.
Got to sleep and work and get on a plane.
Yeah, and we want it to be the best researched episode that we can do for you.
And we're gonna make sure that happens.
Yeah.
We don't know what that's gonna be yet, but you will find out.
Yeah. Well, take care, guys, and we'll see you in the streets.